Sunday. It's full time here after a disappointing 1-0 loss. What are your initial thoughts, Garrard?
It's the third time we've failed to score in the last 6 league games. The goal against, it's a mistake. In these conditions, I think you've got to palm that away to an area. We then don't pick up the seconds. Harker's right to that. I think it was a nothing game. Last week I felt we got dealt with. This week was a nothing game. Other than hitting the post in the second half, yes, they counted a few times. They really didn't work Ashmore. We didn't work Johnson until probably the last 4 or 5 minutes when Will Evans goes up top. Again, frustration, huge frustration on our part. We're not creating, we're not scoring. Yeah, we've conceded a poor goal today, but that's our best unit. I can't argue that ain't our best unit. You can't concede the amount of goals we conceded in 19 games and say that ain't working to an extent. We just don't look like scoring a goal, and that's something that I need to address and we need to be better at.
Yeah, is that the reason for the double change after they scored? So you take both strikers off and replace them with Andrade and Elliott. Is that the reason for that sub?
I think I just needed to get some energy on there. I don't think we was proactive enough. Thought we was reactive. Their kiddie comes on, the 21 comes on and has an impact in the game. He's backing in, he's running channels. Yeah, I think that it ain't good enough from us. I hold my hands up. It's me at the helm. Ain't good enough. Isn't good enough. We're not creating. We're not getting bodies in the box. Our deliveries in the box are poor. Set pieces, I think we hit the front man 3 times. It's a dead ball. I know the conditions. I know the corners weren't great. I get that. But for me, we need to be better on all them bits. And today we weren't. And it's not like we didn't work hard. We didn't fight. We didn't have commitment. We had all that and more. But when you need a bit of quality in the final third, it just didn't come.
You mentioned your game plan. Is that something you thought the team stuck to today?
Yeah, I thought we was resilient. We're not a team that ain't organised. We're organised every week. That's not a question, and that's not giving me a pat on the back. You can see that in terms of the goals against Tally. You see the games we're losing. We're losing 1-0, drawing 1-1s in the last 6 games. This isn't where we're getting felt up and getting abused 3 or 4. This is a tight affair. A mistake changed the game in their favour. Yes, we had a little bit of impetus, but it's always a reaction. When you have something to hold on to, you always drop 5-10 yards. When you've got something to chase, you go a little bit more on the front foot. But again, some of our deliveries weren't good enough. Some of our quality into the box weren't good enough. Some of our final third positional play wasn't good enough, and it was turning over too easy. But again, I've got to look at that. That's something that I need to address, and I need to make sure it's right. And I've stuck with Leon Love and Marshy today. Noots has obviously got an injury to his foot. I thought the 2 boys, Danny Elliott and Bruno, come on and had a little bit of impetus, but I want more. I'm sorry, I want more from them. And look at their 21, he was just a pest. He ran channels, he was up there on his own dealing with a back 3, and I don't know what it is. And I've got to find the reasons behind it, because I need to implement them to ensure that there is a sea change, that we start winning games of football.
Yeah, especially with a big game next Sunday. Is that something you're going to try and address straight away this week with a big game coming up on Sunday?
It's another game. It's another game in the FA Cup. We'll get dealt with by Joey Barton and his mob on Sunday if we continue to be that lacklustre in front of goal. We can't keep defending in the way we're defending. And this isn't a slant on the forwards. This is a slant on the defenders going forward when they're trying to attack corners. We don't have no potent threat in their final third. No potent threat in the 18-yard box. We need to be better. We have to be better. And that comes from set plays. That comes from entries into the final third, deliveries into the box, people getting into them areas. We need to be better. I can't say that the whole team aren't working hard and being organised and well drilled, because the goals against Tally suggest that. The frustration is, what have we got or given the fans today to get behind us? Not a thing. Not a nice little bit of play, a quick 1-2 in the round the box, a ball flash across the face of the goal. Nothing. They pay their hard-earned cash and they're frustrated. I've given them a clap and they're reluctant to clap. I'd be reluctant to clap, because we haven't given them anything to shout about, and that's a frustration of mine. And early stages of the season, we were getting bodies in the box, we were getting balls in the box, we were getting opportunities and chances. And I was saying, even in the period of when we weren't scoring goals, we were creating. That's not the case at the minute, and that's when there's concern, because there should be better quality. When you got the likes of Brunty Brody, Denan Lewis comes on, I think we should have better end product. I really genuinely do, but that's something that I need to address. I said to the group, see you Monday. We go again in terms of, we'll debrief this, I have to watch it back because I think there were some bits that we need to improve on hugely. And there's bits that I was happy with. I thought that we locked them in first half for the first 20 minutes really, really well, and it was isolating Harker up top. But again, with no real threat. And I keep repeating myself, it's all well and good, but we have to be better in both 18-yard boxes. We have to be better on the shot from edge of the box. We have to be better on following things in. He's spilt a couple, but yet we're reactive and not proactive. But yeah, frustrating, so frustrating.